And hello everybody, Crypto Knights here. I really haven't been around this weekend. It's been a rough weekend outside of the crypto world, well, and in the crypto world. But I haven't really gotten a lot of sleep, and then finally today, or yesterday, or however you want to look at it, man, I slept in. It was wonderful. So I hope everyone took advantage of this weekend and made some money. I'm gonna say I am utterly shocked. I was expecting Saturday morning, no later than Saturday night, to see all of these in the red, and especially at one point, the Bitcoin dominance was up to like 53.7%, almost 53.8. It was insane, and the altcoins bucked the trend. But there is a lot going on, so when you're trading, you always have to take that into account. Always looking at the flip side of the coins. So I will tell you right now, I didn't do a whole lot of trading this week. I did open up CryptoHopper about an hour ago. Well, 47 minutes ago, and I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, see what happens. Try to take advantage of this market. I'm still very bearish, to be honest. We're sitting at a 53.3%, and to me that's just not low enough to change my outlook on the altcoins. And it's all how you play the game. I'm gonna play it differently than you are. So it's all how, what strategies you want to follow. I'm still going to be playing very conservatively until, I definitely see that we're out of a bear market. So just really quick, I'll pull up my trade history here to see, so you guys can see what I've done this week. These were more for Friday going into Saturday. So I didn't make a lot of profit. I did make some, at one point, because things were falling. So, I see something in a profit, in the green. I didn't care if it was, 27.27% or, almost 2%. A lot of it I just manually sold. Now these zeros here are interesting, and the reason being is there's a new feature on CryptoHopper called DCA. So you can see that here I put a bit more coins into this than my normal amount. It's a really interesting feature. It's also something that can be very helpful or very, very dangerous, depending on how you want to play it. It's pretty much like gambling with roulette. Either you're betting on green or red, and you're hoping that the green is going to come out. What this feature does real quick is you can essentially double down. So if you're in the red and you think it's going to go up, you can go ahead and hit the DCA, and I'll show you guys how to do this later on. And it'll triple the amount of coins you have. So basically it buys double of what you already have. And then, with the idea being is half of that will counteract any losses you might have on what your initial buy is, and then the other half of what you just bought is your profit range. So it is useful too. I did wind up making some good money off of these zeros. So it's helpful, and I like it, but you have to be smart about how you use it, like you do any tool. But again, I'll go back into that a little bit later. So as you can see, I do have some positions opened. These two have been bouncing green and red, but these two I've had for a while now, and I'm not really worried about them. I know that at some point they'll pump back up, so I'm just gonna let them sit. Plus I have enough positions available to where I'm not really where I can let some sit for a little bit longer. The market is up and down. It's crazy right now. Who knows what's going to happen going into later on today, when we start seeing a lot of the tradings, a lot of the traders actually wake up and start their weekly run. Bitcoin's been holding pretty steady at about 6,700. We're at 6,693 right now. I know that, and this is one of the things I want to talk about in this video, is you log into YouTube, you look at your news, you see it on TV, you're seeing a lot of information right now about we're heading into a bull market, all these bullish signs, and the bear market's over. I want to caution against believing the hype. Do your research. Look at both sides of the coin, look at both sides of technical analysis. Don't just go off of one or two sources. You want to make your own informed decisions. And there's so much going on, in both the cryptocurrency market and in, the stocks, the US dollar, and around the world, that you really want to, take all that in consideration. I know I am. I don't feel that we're out of a bear market yet. I'll be honest. I won't probably until I see Bitcoin break 9,700. We've been too many times. Let me move up to the day. And, you can see that, we've reached a certain point several times. Just last time we hit, almost 8,500 and got rejected and then dropped. We haven't quite hit the 6,800 resistance point yet. And, we're nowhere near that 7,250 resistance either. So Bitcoin's got a lot to do before I'm going to start feeling even remotely bearish. Just too many times right now we're seeing a lot of rejections at certain levels, and Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do to change the direction of this market. So yeah, we had a good weekend in altcoins, and no, I didn't take advantage of it. I'm not worried about it. In a market like this, there will be plenty of opportunities. Just honestly, I don't want to get, I'm not willing to take that much of a risk yet with my money, just to turn around and get burnt. So, it's all how you want to play the game. Some people, play it very cowboyish, and they lose big and win big. Me, right now, just again, going back to this number alone, I'm gonna play it every day by ear, and pull out what profits I can and take advantage of the spikes when I feel that the spikes are gonna happen. If we do go up as Bitcoin, which we all know the rest of the altcoins will follow like sheep, I'll definitely take advantage of the rally. But until I see Bitcoin break the 9,700 resistance line, I'm going to stay in a very bearish mentality. There's so much analysis out there, but the problem is you get all these moon boys going out and saying, we're in a bear, we're at the end of the bear market, we're going to see this, we're going to see that. And I've been seeing these literally every month. Every time just the smallest thing happens, they get emotional, and you want to keep your emotions out of it and try to think rationally. That's my view on the market. That's how I approach the market. I've taken the advice of so many different successful traders, whether they've been on YouTube or even just reading the news, and I really feel that is the best way, because you get emotional about something and you're going to likely get burnt because there's so many factors to be involved in. So one of the things that came up, I saw this YouTube video earlier this week, and I thought it was pretty funny, and it kind of goes with what I'm saying right now. CNBC as a reverse indicator of Bitcoin price, 95% accurate. So what this YouTuber did, and I'll post a link up in the about section so you can take a look at it. But he went through and he showed all the tweets that CNBC posted, and 95% of the time Bitcoin went in the exact opposite direction of where they were saying. And they're pulling in these so-called experts, talking about where the market's going to go and what it's going to do. And I think that should speak volumes to anybody watching this right now. that this market is so new and it is so volatile that it's really hard to predict where it's going. So that's where your research comes in. That's where listening to every side of the coin and then making your own decisions on what you want to do and then sticking with it. I stuck with my decision this weekend that, it just was way too dangerous to really play into the Bitcoin market. I am kind of playing with fire right now. And I'm willing to accept the fact if I lose a little bit, but I also know that even if these go deep in the red, we'll see a recovery. Maybe not this week, but definitely next week or at some point. So I'll just let it chill. I think this week's going to be very interesting. Bitcoin's been riding in this, in these levels, in this channel for a while now, and so it's going to be really interesting to see if it finally breaks this week and which direction it goes. I'm not going to say which direction it's going to go because I think it can go either way. It just really depends on who's got the most momentum, the bears or the bulls. So, I'll be playing the market, based upon, what I'm reading and seeing and making my decisions from there every day. I am going to be playing it cautious because, yes, I do expect Bitcoin to break hopefully sometime this week, because it would be kind of nice to get a direction and then, formulate more of a plan on how I'm going to play the market. Keep in mind, I know everyone's talking about it's going to go to the moon, it's going to do this, it's going to go here, and we all want to see a bull run. But if you do your research, you learn how other people play the market, you'll realize, as I've been saying, you can make money in the bear market as well. You just have to be, a little bit more careful. Whereas, in the bear market, you can just let some things run. You're going to make a profit because everything's going to go up, and you can have a blast with it. But right now, yeah, I'm still keeping along the lines of, let's just, be cautious on what I'm doing. And I'm not where it said. There was definitely some missed opportunities for me this weekend, but I'm not sweating it. I'm not going to shed a tear over it or anything. There'll be plenty of times for me to take advantage of spikes in the market. It was really weird in how it bucked the trend, and good for the altcoins. But I don't feel it's going to stick. I think we're going to see a decline at some point. I got to see how the market goes, and that was my cat running across my laptop. I guess this is her exercise time. So, not to make this video last too long, I'm going to go into an option called create a DCA order. Now, you can, if you go into configs, go into your base config section, dollar cost averaging, and we'll just click on this real quick. Now, you can see I don't have it enabled. And basically what this does is you tell the hopper to buy more of a loss-making coin. It'll triple your holdings to try to trade out the loss. This is an extremely high risk, and let me explain to you why. If you have this enabled, obviously you can set, how this works. So, you can tell how many times to try to create an order, how many times to retry it. At what percentage to trigger a DCA order, and you can triple down. There are lots of options for that. And I'll be honest, it is a really nifty tool. It did save me, like I said, Friday night I played around with it a lot, and so instead of taking a negative loss or making a minimal amount, even at a 0%, I still made anywhere from a 1 to 2% gain. So essentially, and we'll make this math simple. I know the math might be a little bit off, but don't shoot me. I'm just doing it for the ease of explaining how this works. So let's say LSK here goes down to a negative 2%. I set in it, and I feel that it's going to make an upturn. So I create a DCA order at negative 2%. So I now have essentially two positions of where I'm at in LSK at 0%, one at negative 2%. I wait for it to hit negative 1% and I sell. What will happen is my original order and one of the two orders that the DCA order created will balance each other out, because one will be at negative 1%, the other one will be at a positive 1%. So I didn't make or lose any money. And then the other order, the third part of that, will make a 1% profit. Not a bad gig. But here's the thing, you have to make sure that when you create this, when you do this, it's going to go into an uptrend. Because if you turn around and you take your one single order and turn it into a triple order, and let's say it drops another 2%, well, now you're down 4% on one order, and then you just doubled to a negative 2%, so you're essentially down 8%, roughly, or 6%. So you're, no, 8%, my math's right. So that's a huge loss to take, and then it's going to be up to you whether you just say, forget it, and you sell it, take the loss and move on, or you decide to wait and hope that it goes back up to where you can make or even break even. So that's why I will never have this enabled to do it on its own. Maybe the only way I would do it, I think, is if we were in a good solid bull market, and I know everything's going to be on the rise for a while, so even if something goes down, it'll go back up. So I might maybe try it then, as an experiment and see how that works out. But you could lose more, I think, if you have it doing it on its own, especially in the bear market and with the volatility of the altcoins and Bitcoin. You're putting your money at a huge risk. And that's why I will use it, but I will only use it as I control it. And yes, I might still take a loss here and there, but I think that the gains in the long run will outweigh it. I've been playing with it for a few days, and on one of the ones I doubled or tripled down on, I went up overall, making insane. Went up to like a 5% before it sold. So my original order made 5%, and the other two orders made 7%. That was awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of great gains. It's a great tool, but it's kind of like, an electric saw. You're not going to just set the saw down and hope that it makes all the cuts on its own. Somebody might lose a limb, or you'll be rebuilding your garage. Same thing with this tool. You want to use it, I think, under your supervision, and yeah, you might make some bad cuts now and then, but overall, I think if you're smart about it, you pay attention to the market, and you're careful about when you use it, it'll definitely help prevent any losses. So that's the end of this video. Just keep in mind, this is not financial advice. These are merely my opinions, my thoughts, maybe some education on CryptoHopper, and my views on the market and my own strategies to help you hopefully make your own decisions, so you can see all the sides of the coin. There's a lot I do want to talk about and go over, so I will probably, over the next 36 hours, make at least 2 to 3 more videos. There's a number of things I want to go over before the week really swings into motion. So happy trading, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, as well as ring those bells, because then you'll know when I've made a video and you can check it out. And this is CryptoKnights signing off.